What's up guys, Ryan here from MudGunner, and today it is Viewer Builds episode 45, and the theme was shotguns. The more I thought about this, the more I should have done 45s as the theme for, number 45, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time. So we will do a viewer build episode where it is just 45 caliber guns. But yeah, theme was shotguns, and we got a few good builds. Shotguns we didn't get as much as we normally do, but that's okay. Next week's theme is going to be something I think you guys will like, so submit early, and that is going to be your favorite AR. So you can only have one favorite. I have two here because it's, my couch, my channel. But yeah, the theme is going to be your favorite AR. And just to show you mine real fast, I would say my favorite AR is this one right here. This is a Daniel Defense V5 LW. This was my very first AR, very first gun. And this is what got me the gun bug and kind of turned me into a collector. But started out life as a 16-inch barrel. When I turned 21, I SBR'd it. It currently has a 12.5-inch barrel from Daniel Defense. So it's all Daniel Defense basically internally. Barrel, rail, lower, upper, bolt carrier group. But yeah, I had to swap the barrel, swap the rail. It also has my very first suppressor on here, which is a Silencer Co. Omega 300. I have done a video on this probably a few years ago now. We can do an updated video on it, but it hasn't changed in those years. So yeah, this was my very first AR, very first suppressor. I don't think it was my first SBR. I think my Scar 16 was my first SBR, but yeah, very cool. I like it a lot. As far as like a more current favorite AR that I actually shoot a lot more, that would be this one. This is a BCM that I basically turned into a HRT clone, which they don't use BCM, but I turned the looks of it into one. So it looks like a HRT inspired gun, but no part of it's really clone correct. So yeah. I've done a video on this. It's rocking a Griffin Armament HRT 556 suppressor on my, what I view as the HRT clone. So go check that out. But that's kind of my favorite shooter AR as of right now. I have quite a few ARs, but yeah, that one currently is one of my favorites. So yeah, favorite ARs, remember only submit one please, and you're gonna send a horizontal picture to my email. It is sales@atroxco.com. And yeah, describe it from tip to butt for YouTube because pictures are kind of weird. The ratio is 16:9. If you don't know how to do that, I would say Google it. It's easy on an iPhone. I don't know how it is on other phones, but yeah, some of the pictures, if they're too wide, it creates a border on top and bottom. So you guys will see that in the video. But yeah, describe it from tip to butt, and yeah, that should be cool. The shotguns I have here, and then we'll get to the viewer builds. I have an HS10, which I don't know if I've shown you guys on the channel yet. I have not shot it yet. It took me about a week to tear this thing down and clean it because it was very rusted on the inside. But it's a high standard, and it's a semi-auto Model 10. So think bullpup shotgun. You have your receiver right here, still has an 18-inch barrel, and it's in a polymer housing. So yeah, from what I read and videos I've watched, they're not 100% reliable, but we'll see. I'll do a video on it for you guys here in the future. It does have a light up top. It takes 2 D-cell batteries, but I cannot put them in there. Otherwise, it just stays on. The actual on-off switch does not work. So yeah, this thing is just obnoxious, but I remember it from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. You could dual wield them, and yeah, I need another one. But yeah, high standard HS10. I have not shot this one yet either, but I got this one cleaned up. Took a lot less time to clean than that one. This is a Benelli M1 Super 90 police trade-in short barrel shotgun. So it's a 14-inch short barrel shotgun. This is exactly how I got it. It was from a police department. This sling smells like sweat, so whoever was using it, they put some rounds on there. It's kind of cool how it's set up. So it's this OD grain sling, which is massive, but it actually works. And you have 2 clips, one on each side. So I assume depending on if it was a right-handed person or a left-handed person, or depending on what they're using it for. But yeah, I have it set up for right-handed shooting as of right now. But I thought it was kind of interesting how it had it on both sides. Maybe people swap around the gun. It has like not a lot of internal wear. It's got some cosmetic wear because it's probably in a vehicle, but part of the receiver is kind of worn down a lot right there. I assume it was in some type of mounting bracket in a vehicle or maybe at the department, I don't know. But I'm very excited to shoot this. I now have all the Benelli M series, so the M1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to do a video shooting them all side by side. It's officially hot in Arizona, so my shooting time is a little bit more limited, but yeah, that's in the works. And then my iconic Serbu Super Shorty. I've done a lot of videos on this, just a few shooting videos, but yeah, it's got 2 in the tube, so nothing in the chamber because I carry this in my backpack, and since it's in my backpack getting set down all day, every day, I just don't keep it chambered, but I have a chambered MPX, and I always have a handgun, so if I pop this, it's gonna just try to feed it, but yeah. So, Serbu Super Shorty holds 2+1, and yeah, cool little backpack gun, and it fits under a coat, but yeah, one of my favorite shotguns that I actually shoot a lot. So With that being said, I know that was a long intro. Let's get into this week's viewer build shotguns, where we get to see what you guys submitted. All right, guys, kicking off this week's viewer build video, we have this Rock Island VR80. This comes from Axel. It's chambered in 12 gauge, and going through the list, it has an A3G medium compensator, a 28-inch rifled barrel, a CV Life 1:6x24 LPVO, and a Pride Fend spring-loaded recoil pad. She is super fun to shoot and loves spitting slugs. Nice. Yeah, the Rock Island VR80s are pretty popular. I haven't got to shoot one myself yet, but they seem like a pretty cool gun. So thank you for sharing that one, Axel. Next up, we have a couple nice shotguns here from Nate. I'm going to start with his top one. It's a Beretta 1301. It's got a Streamlight TLR1, a Briley handguard, and Briley last round holder. It's got a Magpul stock and a Holosun 508T. And then the one below it looks pretty crazy. This is a Genesis Arms Gen 12 Ronin edition. It has the Ventum 12 suppressor. It's got Rail Scales vertical foregrip, a B.E. Myers Maul, a Surefire Turbo with a Arisaka inline mount, a Castle 226 riser with an EOTech EXPS3, and it's got a Reptilia CQG grip, custom stippled and Cerakoted by Clutch Kinetic. That thing is crazy looking. I've got to shoot the Genesis 12, not one that's short, but that is a shotgun that I'd like to have. So thank you for sharing those, Nate. They look great. This next one comes from James, and this is an FN Police shotgun. It's a simple build, not a huge amount done to it. I added an Amazon shell holder, a Magpul sling, and a custom spray paint job. Nice, that's cool. You don't really see that many FN shotguns. There's one FN shotgun that I really want to get. We used to get them all the time, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago at the shop I work at. I don't know the exact model. It might be like SLP or something along those lines, but it basically had a fixed like A2 stock like an AR. It had like AR fixed iron sights, and it was pump action. I really want to get one of those just to add to my shotgun collection. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with the FN shotguns. But yours looks good. I like the paint job on there. So thank you for sharing that one, James. This next one comes from Matt, and I'm going to go through what he said here. Here's my 6-year-old Benelli Supernova tactical pump shotgun. It only has about 120 rounds of double hot buck and slugs through it, since it's my home defense shotgun. I added the Benelli collapsible stock and pistol grip. It did come with the field stock. It's got a Mesa tactical shell holder with a Picatinny rail. It's got Gideon Advocate Prism optic, a Nordic mag extension with the barrel bracket, a sling mount and light mount. It's got a Magpul sling, an Olight Valkyrie. It's a 1500 lumen light. And then lastly, it's got the Nordic mag spring and aluminum follower. Nice. I just recently picked up a Supernova, but yours looks 10 times cooler, especially with the stock and the shell holder. I like that a lot. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Matt. This next one comes from Campbell, and this is a Panzer Arms AK-12 build. So I'm going to go through his list here. It's got a Carlson's muzzle brake / cylinder choke. It's got the Carolina Shooter Supply Sega 12 reliability kit, recoil spring, adjustable plug, and puck. I don't know what puck is. Someone comment down below with what puck is. Like its puck is in PUCK. It's got a Lunar Concepts hot pocket. It's got a BCM angled grip, an SGM tactical 10-round mag. It's got the Panzer Arms 20-round drum. It's got a Tango down grip with some goon tape. A Carolina Shooter Supply Sega 12 M4 stock kit. Had to be gunsmith, didn't fit correctly at first. And then lastly, it's got a Fab Defense GL Core Impact stock. Nice. Yeah, the AK style shotguns have always been cool to me. I'm going to be getting one here somewhat soon. I got a Sega 12 SBS that someone sold to us, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, looking at yours, it looks pretty great. So thank you for sharing that one, Campbell. All right, next up, we have 3 Mossbergs from Charlie here. So I'm going to go through all their build lists. It looks like he has a good amount of stuff done to him. So the first one is a Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical. It's got a Carlson breacher choke, an Inforce WMLX Gen 2 light. It's got 3D printed lens cover, a Mesa Tactical Truckee forend. It's got a Magpul M-Lock rail covers and hand stop, a 3D printed match saver, S-Tac 6-shell holder cards. It's got the Holosun 507K green dot and circle. It's got the Defender Tactical Safety Sight Safety Selector. It's got the Spectre Gear buttstock shell holder / sling mount. Sorry, that's like a tongue twister. It's It's got a Tacticon 2-point padded sling, and yeah, that finishes it up for the 940. I'm just going to take a look at it. Yeah, that looks sick. I like the OD green and black, and I'm a big fan of having like shells on the shotgun. I think it looks cool, and I just like the idea of being able to house a bunch of shells with my shotgun. That's just me, but well, it's not just me, it's you guys too from the pictures, but yeah, that looks good. All right, the next one is a Mossberg 590 police trade-in. Got it for steel at $325, and this one came with the olive camo Cerakote and the old school Surefire flashlight 4N. Nice. It says, I added the spike mag tube cap. It's got an LED bulb and skateboard grip tape to the Surefire. It's got a heat shield from shotgunheatshield.com, an NDZ green anodized follower, Spanker shell cards, NDZ enhanced safety selector, a single point sling, forgot the brand, and then a Magpul SGA stock. Nice. Yeah, the camo job looks good on that. I like police trade-in shotguns. I've bought a ton over the years, but none of mine are painted yet. But yeah, I like that, and those old school Surefire lights look great. All right, his last one is a Mossberg 500A road blocker, which originally came with the barrel with the ridiculous Barrett-style muzzle brake. Got tired of that, so I replaced it with a standard style 18.5-inch barrel. It's my first gun. Didn't have gun tubers back then to tell us we were stupid. It's got a Defender Tactical highball bead sight, an ATI classic shotgun heat shield, a Wolf mag spring. It's got the Defender Tactical red anodized follower, a GG&G side saddle angled shell carrier, a Defender Tactical safety sight safety selector, and the Defender Tactical mini shell adapter. It's got a Raptor bird head grip, and then an Ace Case shotgun sling. Nice. Yeah, that muzzle brake looks insane on there. So that's like permanently attached to the barrel. I don't think I've ever seen that one. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks good now. It definitely looks cool with that brake, but I can see why you didn't want that on there. But yeah, all those are awesome Mossberg, so thank you for sharing those, Charlie. All right, this next one comes from James, and this thing looks sick. These shotguns are always very interesting to see. I'm going to go through what he said. This is a Charles Daly triple threat 12-gauge shotgun. Unlike the traditional over-under break action shotgun, this gun has 3 barrels and fires all 3 shots with the same trigger, not simultaneously. It is the tactical version that comes with a small Picatinny rail at the front. The standard version has no rail and has wood finishes on the handguard and stock. I put an Olight light/laser on the front and also added a shell sleeve that holds 5 rounds. I keep this next to my bed, and it's loaded with Rhodesian Jungle Shot, which has birdshot in the front, followed by buckshot. That's the full description. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. Rhodesian Jungle Shot, birdshot in front, followed by buckshot. Now I'm looking closer at that shotgun round. That looks crazy. That looks cool. I have a couple odd shotgun rounds that I probably shouldn't use for home defense, but I have like flechettes and other stuff. But yeah, that thing looks cool. I'd say for home defense for me, I just like having a little bit more capacity, but I mostly just run pump action shotguns. I have semi-autos like the Benelli M4 and stuff, but I don't like leaving those out and about, so for me it's just pump actions. But I could definitely see myself throwing that in a corner of the house somewhere. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, James. I like it. All right, guys, finishing it off, we have a few different shotguns from Robert here. So I'm going to go through his list. Starting off, we have the Beretta 1301 Tactical. It's a semi-auto shotgun with the factory Mesa Tactical pistol grip and factory FDE Cerakote. Everything else is stock from the factory, except I added a Holosun 507 comp red dot and an Inforce WMLX light. Nice, so that's the top one in this picture. I read the description and then I look at the picture sometimes in case you guys are ever wondering. All right, next up, we have the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol. It's also a semi-auto shotgun in the gunmetal gray. Everything is stock from the factory except I added a Holosun 507C red dot and an Inforce WMLX light. It came with a 6-slot hook and loop shell holder from the factory. Nice. Beretta shotguns are ones that I'd like to get into next. I feel like I go through like phases where I'll buy a lot of one brand. Like for me, that was Benelli recently. I just acquired all their main shotguns. But yeah, I want to add the Beretta A300 and 1301 next to my collection. And then speaking of Benellis, next up we have the Benelli Supernova Tactical Pump Action Shotgun. From tip to butt, I added a GG&G Picatinny 3-slot rail piece to hold the Inforce WMLX light. For the red dot, I went with a Holosun 507C and added a GG&G Picatinny rail to mount it on. I swapped out the stock front sight and rear ghost ring sights with the Meprolite Tritium front and rear ghost ring sights. I added a Mesa Tactical 6-slot shell holder, and it's carrying Fiocchi Defense Dynamics double-aught buck. It's a 9 pellet. I removed the factory stock and added the Mesa Tactical stock with a pistol grip and cheek riser. And I added a military-style sling that I got off Amazon. Nice. I like the way you have that Supernova set up. And then lastly, we have a pair of Remington AOW shorties. The first one is the V3 TAC 13 semi-auto. Everything is stock except I swapped out the factory charging handle with a GG&G enhanced charging handle and added a 5-slot hook and loop shell holder that I got off Amazon. Then there's the Remington TAC 14 pump action with wood furniture. Everything is stock from the factory except I added a 5-slot hook and loop shell holder from Amazon. And that's it for those ones. Let me go take a look. Nice. And he said AOWs. These are not actually AOWs. It's funny, if you were to take a standard shotgun with a stock and turn it into either one of these, that would be an AOW because you are shortening a shotgun that has to have at least an 18-inch barrel to, these are both about 14 inches. And yeah, that would make it an AOW, but because these came from the factory this way, they are not an AOW. And an AOW is any other weapon, in case you guys didn't know. So they require a $5 tax stamp if you are purchasing one. I was told, and I've never done this, I was told if you make an AOW, it still costs $200 tax stamp. I did not know that, and I don't know if that's 100% true, but yeah, if you buy a AOW item, it's just a $5 tax stamp. That's how I got my Serbu Super Shorty. But yeah, those were all really awesome shotguns, so thank you for sharing those, Robert, and thank you to everyone else that submitted this week. Thank you again to everyone that submitted. Those were a lot of really cool shotguns. I definitely got some inspiration for shotguns that I want to do in the future. I want to remind you that the next viewer build video, I said next week at the beginning of the video, it's more likely 2 weeks from now. I've been spacing them out to twice a month instead of 4 times a month, but it's going to be your favorite AR. So only send me one AR, your favorite, and you're going to describe it from tip to butt, horizontal picture please, and you're going to send it to my email, sales@atroxco.com. That video will go up in 2 weeks, and other than that, I do have other shooting content coming up for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.